Happy Monday, everybody. I'm about half awake. I did not have a good night last night, but not super bad, but not all that great. So I'm about half here. That's all right. We'll get through it. Yeah. Let me just start off by saying I'm doing a Stevie Wonder. Let me just start off by saying, man, why am I all look like I'm crooked here? There we go. No, you just need to settle down. Yes, you just need to settle down. Like, it's not PLAY time right now. He thinks it is, though. But anyway. So anyway, if you hear a lot of background noise, he's wired this morning for some reason. But let me start. Okay, take 3. Let me start off by saying some of y'all need to develop a sense of humor. Some of the comments I got last night were just cracking me up. It's like, what's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you? It's what's funny. Most of the people thought that my video was funny. Some of you are like, "Oh, you're scary. You're." It's like, come on. Good night. I hope you're not like that in real life. Seriously, man. How do you get through life not having a sense of humor? Seriously, how? How do you get through life not having a sense of humor? You got to be crazy and goofy sometimes. You got to be over the top sometimes to make a point. But some of y'all, for whatever reason, anyway, it amazes me, all the different types of people that you meet on YouTube. Anyway, I want to start off this morning. I want to have my, I don't have my device named Alexa, simply because every time a frickin' commercial comes on TV that says Alexa, it would set off the Alexa. So I have a different name for mine. Ziggy, say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Ziggy, please define hypocrite.
Hypocrite is usually defined as a person who pretends to have virtues, moral or religious beliefs, principles, etc., that he or she does not actually possess, especially a person whose actions belie stated beliefs. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for hypocrite.
I think that's a pretty good one. I think that pretty much describes what I'm going to be talking about today. I really do. Yeah, someone who claims to be one thing but is another. Someone who says one thing but does another. Yeah, that's what you would call it, a hypocrite. Ziggy, what would you call somebody who befriends another person?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor
Ziggy,
that I
stop. You haven't listened to my question yet. Ziggy, what would you call a person who befriends somebody then stabs them in the back?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Ziggy, are you stupid?
I'm always interested to hear how I can improve. Try saying, I have feedback.
I have feedback.
Okay, what's the feedback?
You're stupid.
Thanks for letting me know.
if only all females were that easy to deal with, huh? Yeah. And they say something stupid to you, you just say, you're stupid. And they're like, well, thank you. Anyway, now, man, I don't understand. I am sitting straight in this chair, but for some reason it looks like I'm leaning over. It's the other way. Okay, let me try to get myself more centered here. All right. You just have to put up with the that one. All right, now it's time to get serious. I don't really. I'm being totally honest when I say this. I don't think I have ever met. Well, I haven't met her, but let's just say experienced. Let's put it that way. I don't think I've ever experienced a person who is more of a hypocrite than Hollie. I would like to say that I've never met someone as evil as Hollie, but I have. But she has to be one of the most evil people, and Chris is becoming just like her. But she has to be one of the most evil people I've seen on here. Actually, she's probably the most evil that I've seen on here. It makes me absolutely sick when she talks about God's blessings. And those of you who support them, don't even bother coming at me, as I'll eat you alive. I have no respect for somebody who says one thing and does another, who pretends to be someone's friend and then turns around and stabs them in the back, who everything she does is manipulative, conniving, and designed for her own benefit. She is a narcissist. She is a liar. She is a deceiver. And here's the thing. And you better take this seriously, Chris and Hollie. I know you'll probably just brush it aside, but you need to understand you're accountable before God. You're taking God's name in vain when you're talking about him blessing you while you live in disobedience. You're taking God's name in vain when you talk about him blessing you when it is not God blessing you. God does not bless disobedience, period. The Bible is very clear on that. You have no conscience. And apparently Chris has become that way too. How can you have no self-respect? How can you have no motivation, no drive, nothing? And by the way, something that I was told yesterday, somebody made a statement a while back saying that Chris had to quit work because Hollie couldn't be alone with Elian. I found out that's not the reason. You see, Chris wasn't working. Chris only went to work. Those of you who have followed them this entire time, remember when they moved into the red house? The only reason Chris went to work is so they could get into that house because he had to show an employer. And as soon as they got the house, he quit his job. Chris does not want to work. He's lazy. Hollie is lazy. How can you even talk about God when the Bible clearly says that he who does not provide for his own house is denied the faith? It is worse than an infidel. Where the Bible says, if a man will not work, neither let him eat. And those of you who are supporting them are violating biblical principle, and you also are accountable to God. Now, you may laugh at it, you may blow it off, but one of these days, you will stand before God. So, Hollie, both of you are hypocrites. And I'm going to expose some things about you today. Or actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to let somebody else do it to show people who you really are and what backstabbers and liars and scammers and deceivers you both are. Yeah, you're going to get exposed in the next few days. And there's more to come. So anyway, without further ado, which I've never figured out what ado is, but we ain't going to have any more of it. Without further ado, let's get going.
Hey everybody. I guess I'm just going to try to keep it short and sweet. This is an information dump video, and the reason why I'm doing this is because everything that I'm going to show on here, every screenshot is going to completely obliterate Chris and Hollie's narratives, their many narratives that they've had over the past 3 years. I am so tired of being the scapegoat, the villain, whatever it is that they wanted to create me to be for their benefit. I'm very tired of that. My husband and I thought that Chris and Hollie were friends. They are the ones that screwed us over. It was never the other way around. And this is not going to be the first video that I do. I have so many screenshots, and this is stuff that honestly I'm sick of looking at. I would like to just be able to give everything to the public. You guys can make your own conclusions as to where harassment was coming from and who ended up who had beef with who, and how my husband and I got roped into other people's drama. Like, you can look at all of this stuff, put the puzzle pieces together, but all of this is going to paint a very different picture for Chris and Hollie viewers, especially the viewers that have bought into their narratives about me for the past 3 years. So get some popcorn, get some coffee. This is going to be a long one, and the one after this will be a long one too. Thank you. Bye. Okay, this is March of 2020. This is Hollie. She says, I'm excited to come back for so many reasons. Chris and I both need a break from reality for a bit. I said, nah, she's a good girl. I was talking about her daughter. She says, I know. Then I got into something about the wedding. Okay, and we were talking about when they visit, and this person had a bottle of wine, and we were excited to have Hollie come to the dance. She said, I'm not gonna want to leave the island, not the dance. I said, oh. Then there was a little bit of communication March 8th. So they were not on the island at this time. And talking about getting stuck because, we were talking about the date when they were going to get there. And they said I was asking for $400 for the very last month of rental, which would have been January of 2020, and they weren't there the majority of it, so I had asked for 400. So it was pretty interesting that right here he said, don't know how to do this, we have 400 in our to our name. Paying for gas, tolls, groceries, boat fees, we're freaking stuck again. And, I really thought that family should have come first. I really realistic that they should have been there, you know, before that time. So they said that they were talking about it, and they were thinking about Saturday or Friday, or I don't know, but the days that they were talking about, they didn't show up, and that was the last that I had heard until they did show up on the island. I know that these are not like in the right order. I have one that I need to show before this stuff, but this is during that time that Hollie claims I was not talking to her, I was ignoring her, I wasn't helping, and you know, all that. So this is me messaging, and being just completely ignored until I get some kind of spam message from her about I don't know, the COVID thing and arresting, I don't know, some elites or something like that. And no response from that. Here's me, March 17th. Why won't you answer? I'm coming to say goodbye. This was when everything started getting locked down for COVID, so I wasn't supposed to be going to my teaching job anymore. You know, this is me trying to perk her up because there was some drama on the island when they were leaving, but it was not with me. At least I didn't think it was. Okay, this is on the 14th, so I think this would have gone before one of the other ones that I showed you. But they asked me to come help them get their candles and things off the porch of a business where Hollie was selling her things. I don't really know what was going on there, but I came down and I helped them pack everything up and take it down to the house, and then I discussed with them, you know, just what was going on. Okay, when they posted that smear video, I mean, what they were really saying in that wasn't just against me. They were basically saying that nobody on the island helped them. They didn't have any friends, you know, they were basically left to flounder on their own, and it's just ridiculous. So a couple of the neighbors really got upset. This one says that she posted this comment on their Facebook page. Now, at this time, they had blocked me from Facebook, they blocked me from YouTube, they blocked me from any means of trying to contact them. Which I think is absolutely cowardly because I didn't know what the hell happened. I just knew that all of a sudden there was this smear campaign.
You know, one thing I've noticed dealing with other scammers on here, especially, excuse me, Jeff, is that for whatever reason, one of their tactics is to always try to make themselves look like the victim. Always. Those of you who have seen me go after Jeffrey Noyes, he spins things, he lies. I mean, he fabricates complete stories. And he lies about everything. And talks about these troll channels coming after him and stuff. And as you'll see throughout this video, Hollie does the same thing. Both Chris and Hollie do the same thing. Because what they have found is that if they can make enough people feel sorry for them, people will keep sending them things. Oh, poor Chris and Hollie. Oh, they're so abused. When the exact opposite is true. We see the same thing with her going after me on her sneaky loudmouth, which we know that's you, Hollie, so stow it. She does the same thing to me. The stuff that she says about me, complete fabrications, complete lies, stories that she's only getting out of her own imagination, going after me. And then when I come back at her, I'm a cyberbully. I'm harassing them. And then you got people coming into my comments saying, oh, leave them alone. Quit picking on them. You people are so damn stupid. Seriously. You people that buy into their crap, you're morons. Absolute. It's just amazing to me how easily some people are fooled. The same people that defend Jeff after I've proven dozens of times that he's lying, that his stories are just complete fabrications, completely made up, and the same goes for Hollie. But see, they've always got to play the victim, because the more they play the victim, the more they can get people to feel sorry for them, and people will send them crap that they do not deserve. All scammers are the same, people. They all employ the same tactics. And as we're seeing here, she went after Ellie for no reason. Absolutely no reason. And as you will see, Ellie proves that throughout this video.
So this says, posted everywhere on their Facebook posts. There are two sides to every story, and if you have judged before hearing both, then shame on you. Would just like to say that not everyone here turned their back. We offered to help them move stuff on Sunday when we saw them. A lot of people would have helped. People here are some of the most caring and hardworking and generous people ever. Ellie tried to get Hollie to come to our dance Saturday night. A bunch of us did, actually. I know I saw Ellie coming back from down there several times, and a few of us stood with Ellie, Chris, Hollie, and Elian and offered support in an issue and help. I have not personally heard one word out of Ellie or Terry's mouth bad or negative against Hollie, and we are all together quite a bit. Ellie had been super excited to see Hollie, whom until yesterday she called her best friend. All of us Islanders enjoyed Chris and Hollie and Elian being here. And no matter any differences, reached out with help numerous times with food and anything we could. Everyone's so quick to see one side and bash an entire island of amazing people. It did not take long after that for all kinds of messages to always be sent to me. I think that this was probably like around September, maybe, of 2020. Maybe, somewhere around there. So, this is what was sent to me. This is what Hollie was being called. And she tagged a post that Chris and Hollie had up on their Facebook. So let me show you. Okay, here we have it. So here we go. October. So she was saying that my place was being investigated for food license and blah 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 or whatever. And then she put this article. Terry and I are still perplexed about this article. It showed up in a section of the newspaper called Speak Out, where basically anybody can kind of write their own articles and say what they want. And so Hollie, if you read this and you read it carefully, This says drinks, lemonade, and finger food available from the restaurant next door. So any food that we were selling was coming from the restaurant next door. So it boggles my mind that people will read this stuff, and I know that there was more, who knows what it was, and just run with it, and then not even put two and two together, and not even look at the stuff that's completely contradictory to what Chris and Hollie are trying to sell. And I think they were basically trying to say that my place was some kind of speakeasy or something, but no, it's nothing like that. And no, we're certainly not on any kind of radar, especially for the Comptroller of Maryland. We are not a Rockefeller. A good weekend is like $80. It's Smith Island, okay? We don't run something on a Carnival cruise ship. I did actually have one where they add more things. Hopefully they don't have a live chicken running around their house while preparing food. Why would I be preparing food with a chicken when people are buying food that's coming from the restaurant, Hollie? Come on now. The food that we were offering at Jack and Pickles was an after hours menu that was exclusive only to Jack and Pickles, and we were the ones that were cooking it in the restaurant. So I don't understand where you're coming up with all this food license and everything. It's not necessary because our place is not a restaurant, not a bar. It's a hangout spot. And it's actually been pretty successful. Hollie would always post these things all the time, just like there ain't nothing better than Karma got himself dishes out, it's perfect in every way, and I didn't even have to get my hands dirty. Like every time somebody would send a screenshot of something like this to me, I honestly didn't know what you were even talking about. I mean, stuff like this would just show up just to try to instigate or something, and it never made any sense. If memory serves, this comment calling Hollie names came from a particular neighbor. However, I can't be 100% certain because that icon at the bottom used to change a lot, so I'm having trouble remembering. But I'm pretty sure it goes with the next comment that you are about to see. Okay, so same person was laughing at her hair, and I said I heard it was cut, and she says, Scott says she looks super evil, crazy meth head. And she puts a picture of her, and that was May 29th, so this was 2020.
Okay, the next question that comes to my mind, even though Ellie did not call her a meth head, why would somebody call her a crazy meth head? Of all the things that she could be called, why would they call her a crazy meth head? We've all seen the little marks on her face all over, which is a result of people on meth picking at their face. Somebody calls her a crazy meth head. It's got to be a reason. I asked if it was an old picture. I was kind of confused.
Now, the thing that really irritates me is that other people were calling you a meth head on the island. But it wasn't me, and it wasn't Terry. So everything that other people were doing, particularly this individual, we were always getting blamed for it. There was always, you know, some kind of deflection. And who knows what the actual reason behind all that was. I was missing you too. So, I mean, what was the problem? I still perplexed what actually happened, why you just ghosted me, ignored me, lied on me, made smear videos about me, and these narratives are still going on to this day, that apparently I did stuff to you. Okay? Never did anything to you, Hollie. Terry and I were always very gracious, always tried to help you guys out no matter what. And it, of course, came back to bite us. Always does. It always does. When you help somebody out, it always comes back to bite you. They had gone on that I was causing a storm, you know, and she's basically saying that I'm trying to manipulate her daughter and all of this other stuff. I mean, it was just so ridiculous. If anything, while you abandon your daughter to go dumpster dive right after you brought that kid to the island, she had somebody to talk to, and she was talking to me about you. Nothing bad. It was just having a relationship, and I was always exceptionally encouraging because I have a daughter myself. So I really don't understand what all of this is, and you know why you were making. I mean, this is showboating. This is deflection. And I'm very aware that there was also a lot of like individual texts that were going back and forth that were basically threatening this kid that she would not see her brother again if she basically was with me or helping me to talk about the smear video that you made. Because the smear video, like I said before, it wasn't just about me. I mean, it was primarily about me and aimed at me. But it was also being aimed at other people on the island, including Hollie's daughter. And it was just a big petty setup to make it look like nobody was helping. Melanie actually did leave a comment. I've got nothing in order on here, so as soon as I find it, I will go ahead and read that comment that she said I was able to use, which I did, and that comment is actually even still available. I had read it. It is on one of the videos on the Jack and Pickles vlogs that I did about Chris and Hollie, where I was answering a lot of questions. Here's another thing from their Facebook. Okay, I mean, you're proud of that. All of this is absolutely immature, you know. I was not doing this, okay? I wasn't doing this. And then this is them on Facebook, basically talking about, you know, PF, YouTube gossip channel, and I was completely being blamed for that. Actually, it was not only me that was being blamed, it was somebody else that was being blamed as well. Oh, see? Right down there. The woman's name was Ronnie. YouTube gossip channel. Of course, at the same time, I was being accused of being YouTube gossip channel. Back then, I did not know who this person was at all. Okay, here's some things. Just, this stuff never has any merit. every single time Chris and Holly have said, like, what they're doing with me legally, or that I'm going to be in jail, or that I'm going to be wearing orange, or that I've done something with my business and I'm under investigation, and, just whatever. Every single time you guys have talked about this type of stuff, none of this ever has any merit.
All right, so we see the same tactics, these tactics that Chris and Holly are employing here. We see the same thing with Jeff. Not only with me, but with his accusations against Jared Lysick, saying that Jared Lysick is under serious RCMP investigation, which I proved is false. Saying that Sherry Wood is under investigation and that Shanda is under investigation. It's all a bunch of hooey. There's absolutely, just like Ellie said, there's no merit to anything that Jeff says. The things that he said against Cece, there's no merit. They're all fabricated, all lies, all just made up stories, again, to make them look like the victim. So we see Holly doing the same thing here. And again, it was for no reason. And I remember, and let me interject this here. I remember the pastor told me one time, he says, one thing that you will find as you go throughout life and you minister to people, that it seems to be the ones that you do the most for that are the first to stab you in the back. I don't know why that is. Maybe because when you help people, they see it as weakness. I don't know. I know when people have done things for me, I'm appreciative. The last thing I would want to do is stab them in the back. But again, that speaks to a person's character. I mean, people who just, I don't know, either they have a screw loose or I don't know what it is. But some people, it just seems that the more you do for them, the more they turn on you.
It's word vomit. I mean, you just throw this stuff up on your Facebook account. Just to see people jump. Here's some more stuff that was sent to me. So I am not on any of these sites. Okay, I'm not on any of these sites that don't like Chris and Holly. I think a lot of them kind of go to extremes from the different posts that I've gotten from, inside some of these rooms. And honestly, I think a lot of those rooms are just like a trap to try to get you to say something. So, but one of the people that was in it, they would send me some screenshots of some things. Okay, so I was being called the Smith Witch. Petty fireballs, that's cute. I'm so sorry, I'm clearing my throat all the time. Okay, this is when I was being blamed for being with this rigid outdoors guy. Never met him. I had nothing to do with his channel. I never talked to him, never emailed him, never anything. And when they got all up in his face and was throwing my name out there and scaring the bejesus out of him, and he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, it was cowardly. I've never seen a man cower in the face of lies like that.
Yes, it's getting light outside. You guys remember a while back, I did I don't know want to say a reaction, but I had some comments on the guy who Chris and Hollie showed up at his house, and then he starts, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was totally embarrassed for the guy. I was totally embarrassed. I just can't believe. It's just like Ellie said. How can a guy be so cowardly? I would just I just cringed when I watched it because like I said, I was embarrassed for the guy. It's like, dude, have some balls. Good night. I can't imagine. Well, I guarantee if they showed up at my house, it'd be a completely different story. Completely different. I was ashamed for the guy. I was embarrassed for the guy. It just, I don't know. But I have to agree with her 100% on this, that the guy was a complete pussy. Plain and simple. They just can't imagine not having enough self-respect and fortitude to. Anyway, I could go on and on about that, but that's just like. But I find it interesting that she has the same take as me on it because you remember what I said about it, and basically the same thing I'm saying now. Ridiculous.
That, I mean, why I'm always the one that's supposed to be the scapegoat for these people, I have no idea. But, you know, there it is. I mean, for years, they have absolutely accused me of calling CPS on them, and I have never called CPS on them. As a mandated reporter, I would have to have solid proof of what's being said. I can't listen to Joe Schmo or some neighbor if they've got some tale and then call for them. I cannot be tricked into calling CPS by a couple of the people that were on the island. I don't know what you all think that how I would benefit from calling CPS. How would this do anything for me? Okay, you need to look in your own circle to find out who's been calling CPS on you. This is on their Circle of Friends page. Chris and Hollie started a rumor that I went to the Crisfield Library to upload bullying videos about them. So their people who, they didn't stop, and their people were very happy to start calling the Crisfield Library as soon as, you know, their idols, Chris and Hollie, had something to say. I mean, the good news is, no, I'm hardly ever at the Crisfield Library, even when I have a house, even when I'm at my house in Crisfield. Reason why is because I have my own Wi-Fi. So why would I go there to upload stuff? Just it makes absolutely no sense. And what videos are you even talking about? If these videos have my face to them, which they always did, why would I need to be sneaky about uploading anything? I'm literally showing my face. You know it's my video. Why would I have to be sneaky about uploading it? This makes no sense. Every time I had some kind of a rebuttal to these types of things that you guys were doing to me, you all would jump all over, you know, all over your Facebook and start running your narrative. Here it is. And fact that someone we know told us. Well, I'm really interested in knowing who is telling you these quote-unquote facts, because nothing that you have put up about me has been factual, Chris. So why are you listening to somebody that's bringing you not only gossip, but chronic bad gossip? The stuff that you spread around, it never even comes to fruition. There's never any ounce of proof behind any of this stuff. But consistently, you guys run to, your Facebook and say that I'm the one harassing you. And how everybody just, gets on the bandwagon. And here they go again, saying that Michelle Vuitton is Ellie. Chris and Hollie, you don't like it when people start saying that you're this account or you're that account, or saying that you have false accounts. You don't like it when people do that to you, but you have constantly, for the past 3 years, told all of your followers and your viewers that I have so many accounts, that this person is me and that person is me, and basically anybody that's got an opinion other than yours, you say is me. None of them have been me. You know what all of my accounts are. I like to own what I say. Even the stuff that I've definitely said in anger sometimes, because all of this has been exceptionally overwhelming. Even the times that I screw up with the things that I say or meant and feel bad about, I have taken it back. I have never gone all over Facebook and done all of this crap about you. You were complaining that people were making, they were making like stuff about your face. We're making pictures about your face and stuff like that. I mean, you guys were doing that to me. Did that make it okay? That one time when I went on this kick and I was making all of these little face videos and inserting you guys' face, and I was being passive aggressive and trying to be funny about it, that wasn't okay either. And I don't like getting to a point like this. It's ridiculous and it's juvenile. I don't understand why so many followers enjoy this. I don't think that it's funny. There's more people running their comments. See, this is you, Chris. It just says, dude, whoever makes the best Photoshop picture of the Smith Witch and posts it under this comment wins a mystery box. This one is hard to beat. And I'm aware that this person can actually back up what they're saying, because I do have screenshots in here where there's an awful lot of alluding to, oh, my husband, that Terry's got money, and sue them for defamation, sue them for slander. It's absolutely ridiculous. See, there we go. Nah, Captain and Terry and Ella ain't broke. And this is them talking again, saying that I'm sitting around running all these different profiles. Okay.
I'll have to say one thing, that Ellie is actually being very gracious. Because you guys that know me, I'd be much more blunt. And I actually wish she was a little bit more blunt. I think you can see from her demeanor and the way she conducts herself that she's a very classy lady. She's not vindictive. She's not mean. She's not the witch that Chris and Hollie try to make her out to be. But I think that Chris and Hollie only went after her for one reason. Well, actually several reasons. First reason is Hollie seems to love drama. Well, she's had drama all her life. She's had 4 children by 4 different men, had 3 children taken away. And it's a way of getting clicks. The more clicks, the more views, the more money. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons that she drums all this stuff up, and the reason that she drums stuff up with me and everybody else that she goes after. If she wants those clicks, she wants those views, and she wants to make herself look like the victim. No, she's not the victim. She's far from the victim. Hollie is never the victim. But she tries to make it look like that because the more you feel sorry for her, the more money she thinks that you'll send in. And she's found that MO to work. It's worked for 5 years, over 5 years. But that's why she does it. She wants the clicks, she wants the views, because people get drawn into drama. Oh yeah, especially on YouTube. People love the drama. Or online anywhere, actually, if you want to be honest. People are drawn to drama. And so she tries to create as much drama as she can to draw people to the channel, and also to play the victim, to play the poor little victim. But as we will continue to see as we produce these videos, she's not the victim. And by the way, Hollie, checkmate.